Liberians and lawmakers gathered in Brooklyn Park to celebrate the new law that gives people from the West African country a pathway to U.S. citizenship. Reporter Sonia Goins joins us now with more. Sonia?
Shannon, last month, President Trump signed the National Defense Authorization Act, which includes a provision to grant green cards to Liberians who fled decades of civil war and the 2014 Ebola outbreak. On Saturday night, Liberians rejoiced and gave thanks for their new sense of freedom.
Dance, let's go.
The Community Activity Center in Brooklyn Park was filled with laughter, music, and a sense of relief.
It's such a major relief. It's like a big weight that has been lifted off our shoulders.
Several dignitaries were on hand, including U.S. Representative Dean Phillips.
This room is so beautiful for a lot of reasons, in no small part, though, because of what it shows the country.
Phillips called it one of the most joyful times of his tenure and says it wasn't about politics, but instead about keeping families together.
It's a wonderful example of what a community can do together. It wasn't about politics, it wasn't about Democrats and Republicans, it was about doing what's right.
U.S. Senator Tina Smith worked with the Liberian community to help get the legislation passed.
Not only are we out of this limbo that so many of our neighbors have been living in for so many years, but we have a path to citizenship in 5 years.
But for many people in the crowd, the celebration was decades in the making.
It is a big deal for me. I am blessed, I am happy.
Magdalene Manyangar lives in Maple Grove. She came to the United States in 1994 after the Civil War in Liberia.
This will make me to be able to go back home and see my mom and see my siblings that have been separated from all these years.
She worried about deportation because her Liberian protected status was about to expire.
So how was school today?
And her 18-year-old American daughter would be left here alone.
Liberian people are the strongest and most determined people in this country.
Magdalene says her future is much brighter. She will apply for a green card. She also wants to go back to college to become a nurse.
That was the best Christmas ever because I have waited for this so long.
U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is accepting green card applications until December 20th, 2020. Liberians are not eligible if they've been convicted of any aggravated felonies. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Sonia. Prosecutors say a house showing in Maple Grove was a setup that led to a realtor's death. Monique Baugh, seen in this video, worked for the Chris Lindahl real estate team. Police say she received a cell phone call requesting a house showing on the afternoon of New Year's Eve. She arrived at the Maple Grove home when a short time later a U-Haul van arrived. According to the criminal complaint, surveillance video showed a person forcibly walking someone into the van before driving away. Baugh's body was found later that day in a North Minneapolis alley. About an hour before police found Baugh shot and killed, officers showed up at a Minneapolis home where Baugh's boyfriend was shot and injured. A suspect in the shootings has been arrested and charged. According to court documents, authorities believe the suspect is a rival drug dealer to Baugh's boyfriend. Meanwhile, an Anoka man is in jail pending an attempted murder charge stemming from a case late Friday night in Golden Valley. According to Golden Valley police, the 45-year-old suspect followed a woman in his vehicle. The woman had a no-contact order against the man. The woman called 911 in the area of Golden Valley Road and Theodore Worth Parkway. Soon after, police say the suspect used his vehicle to ram the woman's vehicle off the road. Police say he then violently assaulted her, causing significant injuries. At last check, the woman was in stable condition at North Memorial Health Hospital. A Brooklyn Park family received an unwelcome visitor Saturday afternoon. A car drove into this home at the corner of Netterson Parkway and Netterson Circle shortly after 1:30 p.m. on January 4th. Brooklyn Park police say the person driving the vehicle was arrested for driving under the influence. Investigators say the incident did not result in any injuries. A Brooklyn Park manufacturing company recently celebrated a significant expansion. It's a move that's expected to create new jobs. And as Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, behind the growth is the company's CEO, who's making her mark in manufacturing.
Inside Nystrom, there's a din of machines and a reason to celebrate. The commercial building products manufacturer nearly doubled the size of its Brooklyn Park campus by buying a building next door to its flagship facility.
I think it's a great place to work.
Behind the expansion is a company leader who has risen the corporate ladder in a male-dominated field.
Back when I started almost 30 years ago now, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even really notice. But it's just opportunities have presented themselves and hard work makes a difference.
Since Sue Thomas became CEO in 2012, Nystrom has averaged about 10% annual growth. Success partially attributed to a commercial building boom.
Some of it is the economy is really good right now for commercial construction, but we believe we have a fantastic culture here at Nystrom.
It's a culture that 20-year employee Shane McJames attributes back to leadership.
It's nice when you see, Sue coming out to the shop here to talk with guys and just see how they're doing and telling them good job, and and it seems like she's very appreciative.
For Thomas, that leadership style is a straightforward, honest approach.
I like to lead by example. That's what's most important to me. So there's nothing that I won't do that I would ask an employee to do. We all have to make it happen together. So whether it's being out on the floor or in the office or with a customer, I absolutely want to be there and help.
Her employees appreciate that, and Thomas knows it's ultimately those employees who are behind the company's success.
We talk about, you spend half your waking life at your job, and we want to make sure that you enjoy it, that you're challenged, and that you feel rewarded for what you do here.
For Business Matters, Corey Bork, CCX News.
And here's something else Nystrom employees can appreciate. The company has a profit-sharing plan where 15% of its net income is distributed equally to all 230 of its workers.
Breck is the defending state Class A champion in girls hockey. The Mustangs are currently ranked #1 in A, and they face the top-ranked team in Class AA when the Andover Huskies came to Golden Valley. Andover's Jamie Nelson stopped on the rush, but Peyton Hemp picks up the loose puck, sneaks a shot home, and Andover leads it 2-0 after one period. The second period, though, is much different. Allie Qualley carries it up the left wing, and Olivia Mobley gets a deflection as Breck gets on the board. A nice goal here as Hannah Halverson carries it and then sets up Sadie Lindsay for a quick shot and goal, and the Mustangs tie it 2-2. And they aren't done. Mobley's first backhand try is blocked, but she sticks with it to score. Breck adds one more in the second, and they go up 4-2. In the third, Hemp creates the turnover and goes top shelf, and the Huskies are within one at 4-3. But Breck gets one on a power play. Emily Zumwinkel's slap shot off a defender's stick and in. Andover gets one more, but it's not enough, and Breck scores a huge win, 5-4. It's Andover's first loss. It was quite a doubleheader at Breck Anderson Arena Saturday. Armstrong-Cooper faced the Breck boys. The turnover cost Breck as Ben Anderson gets the steal for AC, fakes the shot and buries the backhander for a 1-0 Wings lead. Ahead to the third, and Breck on a power play. It's around to John Blake. His shot tipped in by Zach Sinopol, and that ties the game at 3-3. A couple of minutes later, it's Carter Tyson walking in off the wall. He sets up Bo Cornier for the tap in. Breck grabs a 4-3 lead. The Wings answer. They cycle it down low, and Jack Campion sets up Anderson for the goal. It's tied 4-4, and this goes to overtime. And that's where Breck will win it. Nick Mikan on the rush flips the quick shot in on the stick side. The celebration on as Breck prevails 5-4. A dominant Hopkins girls basketball team often has trouble finding enough competitive non-conference games. Not so on Friday when the Royals hosted Aquinas from La Crosse, Wisconsin, the two-time defending Division IV Wisconsin state champions. Taylor Woodson to Maya Najee. She goes to work inside and scores for an early Hopkins lead. Nunu Agara throws a skip pass across to Elena Contreras for a three from the corner. Contreras scores 9 points in the game. The Royals are up 11. Aquinas battles back. Kayla Barr cross court to Lexi Dinarski for the corner three. And they're within 25-20 with that hoop. Hopkins takes over from there. Paige Beckers dribbles baseline, zips it across to KK Adams for three. Adams scores 24 in the game. The Royals take a 52-32 lead into halftime. Second half, Woodson weaves her way to the hoop for the layup. Taylor Woodson with 22 points in the game. The Royals have a lot of weapons. They go inside to Najee, back out to Adams for 3. Hopkins stays unbeaten with a 78-57 win. They start late conference play this week. The Wayzata girls basketball team is ranked 4th in Class 4A, with their only loss coming against number 3 Park Center. Trojans look for another win as they hosted last season's state 4A runner-up Stillwater. Ponies are good out of the gate. Eliza Carlin hitting a 3 for a 15-9 lead. Wayzata comes back. Annika Stewart's 15-footer puts the Trojans up 1. Mara Braun's jumper is short. She follows her own miss to score. It's 31-27 Wayzata. Amber Scallis gets the steal and basket. Stillwater up 34-33 at halftime. Second half, Jenna Johnson powers in for the hoop and the foul. Free throw makes it 44-all. But Carlin gets hot from long range and the Ponies start to build the lead. She scores 20 points in the game. The Trojans keep fighting. Stewart hits the turnaround jumper for 2 of her 23 points. Stewart gets an offensive rebound late in the game and hit both free throws. Wayzata wins this one 67-66.